Hello, everyone. I'm Frank, and I've spent over 3 decades in the field of cybersecurity. I've seen it all. Viruses, ransomware attacks, phishing emails. But what I'm about to share with you today is far more invisible, far more dangerous. Think of it this way. Every time you leave home, you instinctively lock your doors and windows. But here's the real question. Are the doors and windows of your smartphone, your digital wallet, your bank account truly locked? And that question couldn't be more urgent, because right now a wave of AI-powered banking Trojans is spreading, attacks that nearly anyone with a smartphone could fall victim to. Stay with me until the end, because just a few minutes today could protect decades of your financial security and peace of mind.
In 2024 alone, incidents of Android banking Trojans surged by an incredible 96% year-over-year. That means hundreds of thousands of people have already been silently compromised, without ever knowing it. But this isn't just the old password theft story anymore. The real danger? These Trojans don't just steal your keys, they remove the lock itself. Using AI and automation, they disguise themselves as the apps you trust most, while silently taking over everything in the background. I've combed through reports from McAfee, Bleeping Computer, Tech Radar, and several others. They all agree. This is a new era of cyber threats. Some researchers even call them, quote, zero-hour threats, meaning, by the time you even realize something's wrong, it's too late. By the time traditional security software updates its defenses, the theft is already complete. Picture this. You wake up one morning, check your phone, and your entire account balance has vanished overnight. No warning. No alert. Nothing you could have spotted in time. This isn't a far-off horror story. It has already happened to people who thought they were being cautious, people just like you.
But I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to equip you. In the next few minutes, I'll break down 3 critical things you need to know: how these AI-powered banking Trojans actually work, why they're so dangerously different from past threats, and most importantly, what you can do right now to protect yourself. So stay with me. What you're about to learn could completely change the way you think about mobile security. This is a fight we all have to take seriously, and your first line of defense starts with awareness and action. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Imagine this scenario, which has become terrifyingly real for so many people, particularly in places like India, a prime target right now. It all starts subtly, almost innocently. You might get a message on WhatsApp, a very common channel there. It could be a warning that your gas service is about to be cut off, or a link to check a pending utility bill. It creates this immediate sense of urgency, right? That's the key. It pushes you to act now, almost without thinking. Naturally, you want to avoid your gas being cut off, so you click the link. It takes you to what looks exactly like a legitimate app download page. It might even use familiar logos for a known payment platform, so you install it, trusting that you're dealing with an official service. Everything seems pretty normal so far. Once installed, the app asks for a few permissions that seem benign enough at first glance. Access to your SMS messages, for example. Now, some legitimate payment apps might actually need that, so it doesn't seem too weird. You grant the permissions because, well, how else is the app going to work? Then, it pops up what looks like a payment page, maybe with a list of major banks, and urges you to put in your card details or bank login to complete that urgent payment. You enter your sensitive financial data, you hit pay, and then, wham! The app shows a, quote, payment failed message. It's annoying, sure, but you probably just figure the bank's servers are down or something. You close the app and move on with your day, thinking nothing was lost. But here's where the real danger kicks in. That app's icon? It might have just quietly vanished from your home screen. It was actually designed without a launcher icon, so it's basically invisible from the start, now hidden and silently running in the background. While you were thinking, oh well, payment failed, your financial data was already gone. Your card number, expiry date, CVV, maybe even your bank login details, all sent off to a hidden server controlled by the attackers. So what just happened? You were attacked, your data was stolen, and you didn't even realize the malicious app was still sitting there, lurking on your device, just waiting to intercept more of your personal info. It leaves us with a really chilling question, doesn't it? How can these attacks be so subtle and so effective? What gives them this unprecedented power? At its core, it's a masterful story of social engineering. Today we're diving deep into a sophisticated cyber threat that exploits human psychology. Imagine your data stolen, and you don't even realize how it happened. A malicious app sits lurking on your device, silently intercepting your personal information. At its core, this attack is a masterful story of social engineering. It's a testament to how human behavior can be manipulated in the digital world. These attackers prey on fundamental human tendencies, exploiting our trust. They are incredibly good at disguise, exploiting our immediate, often emotional, responses to urgent situations. They've perfected how to manipulate human behavior in the digital world. The malware often pretends to be an essential service. Think about it, pretending to be a utility payment or a banking app. These aren't obscure things. They're services we rely on every single day, creating an almost automatic assumption of legitimacy. We're conditioned to trust these brands, and that trust becomes their weapon. The delivery method often makes that psychological vulnerability even worse. Messaging platforms like WhatsApp, with their enormous user base, become prime channels for phishing. A message from what looks like an official source, or even a friend whose account was compromised, lowers our guard significantly. It makes us far more likely to just click that malicious link without really thinking. The psychology is simple, but so potent. Urgency, familiarity, and a deep-seated sense of need or potential loss. When you see that service disconnected warning, you're not stopping to analyze the app's code or scrutinize every pixel on the screen. You're just reacting, trying to fix what seems like a real problem. The attackers leverage this emotional response, often using synthetic overlays that mimic your real banking app perfectly, so you don't suspect a thing. It's the ultimate betrayal of trust, using our reliance on digital services right against us. So let's unpack this a bit more. How exactly do these AI-powered mobile banking Trojans manage to be so silent, so scalable, and frankly, so devastating? How is AI really changing the game for these cybercriminals? This is where it gets really interesting and, honestly, quite scary. AI is transforming what we used to call zero-day threats, vulnerabilities exploited before anyone even knows they exist. It's turning them into zero-hour threats. 0 hour. This means new attacks are being developed, refined, and launched within mere hours. Think about that. Attackers can strike multiple times in a single day. The window we have for detection and response has just shrunk radically. So how does AI give cybercriminals this almost unfair edge? Well, it's multifaceted. It lets them automate and accelerate pretty much every stage of the attack. Let me break it down for you. First, they find weaknesses faster. AI tools can scan massive amounts of code for weak spots way faster than any human team could. Using machine learning models trained on past vulnerabilities, AI can pinpoint potential entry points with incredible efficiency. Second, they create exploits automatically. Once they find a weakness, AI can generate the complex code needed to attack it, sometimes in minutes. This used to take significant human skill. Now, AI models can automate these sophisticated attack scripts and even refine them to bypass defenses before they're deployed. Third, and this is a big one, they craft undetectable malware. AI creates what's called polymorphic malware, which is code that literally changes itself every single time it runs. Traditional security tools rely on recognizing specific patterns or signatures, but if the signature keeps changing, they can't block it. We're even seeing things like generative adversarial networks, or GANs, being used. Think of it like two AIs playing cat and mouse. One AI creates the malware, and the other tries to detect it. They constantly learn from each other, so the malware gets better and better at evading detection in almost real time. And fourth, they launch attacks at scale. AI automates tasks like sending out phishing emails or trying stolen passwords, what's known as credential stuffing. They can coordinate these massive campaigns across thousands or even millions of targets simultaneously with minimal human effort. This lets them cast a much wider net and achieve a far greater impact with way less work. So they've got this AI-powered arsenal. How do these Trojans actually operate once they're on your device, especially if they've snuck in disguised as a legitimate app? Once they're in, modern Trojans are masters of stealth and manipulation, designed to operate completely under the radar. It starts with silent infiltration. They disguise themselves, get onto your device, and run silently in the background. intercepting your sensitive data, or hijacking your online sessions without you having a clue. Then comes bypassing authentication. These Trojans are sophisticated. They can overlay fake login screens, capture one-time passwords, or even hijack your session after you've already logged in. This effectively bypasses standard logins, biometrics, and sometimes even two-factor authentication. And then there's accessibility abuse. This is a really nasty one. Many notorious Trojans, like Xenomorph or Brata, exploit Android's accessibility services. These are features actually designed to help users with disabilities, but the malware weaponizes them to read what's on your screen, simulate your taps, and basically automate fraudulent transactions. It makes it look like you are the one interacting with the device. Related to that are overlay attacks. Malware like SharkBot uses sophisticated UI overlays that perfectly impersonate your banking apps. They load these fake interfaces right on top of your real app, so you think you're typing into your bank's app, but you're actually giving your details straight to the malware. Now let's explore remote access Trojans and data exfiltration. Some can even take over your device completely. The most dangerous are remote access Trojans, or RAT. They enable full remote control of your device so the attacker can act just as if they are you, making transfers, accessing anything they want. Of course, all this stolen data has to go somewhere. It's immediately sent off to what are called command and control, or C2, servers. What's concerning is that some Trojans are now using everyday cloud services for this. Others use a domain generation algorithm, or DGA, which dynamically creates new web addresses for their communication, making it much harder for security systems to block them. And they are incredibly persistent. Even if you spot a suspicious app and delete it, some Trojans, like Octo, can linger. They use background services and hidden permissions to stay active. As I mentioned, some even remove their own launcher icon right after installation so you don't even realize they're still there. They also actively tamper with legitimate apps, reverse engineering them, modifying the code to bypass security, and then redistributing these malicious clones through unofficial channels. It's a continuous, evolving threat. When the attackers are using such advanced, constantly evolving techniques, it might feel a bit overwhelming, like we're fighting a losing battle. This all definitely raises the big question. What can we actually do? I'm here to tell you there are practical, actionable steps you can take right now. While the threats are sophisticated, our defenses can absolutely be smarter. We just need to adapt. I like to think of it as a 3-rule strategy for your digital safety. It's about empowering you and making you a more resilient digital citizen. Okay, so what's rule number 1? Be your own firewall. This is about embracing vigilance and smart digital habits. First, official sources only. Only download apps from the official app stores, Google Play and the Apple App Store, period. Never, ever install apps from links you get in messages, emails, or random third-party websites. No matter how legit they look, unofficial sources are prime territory for these Trojans. Second, be skeptical of urgency. Treat any message, especially if it's about banking or utilities, that demands immediate action with extreme caution. Don't click the link in the message. Instead, go directly to the organization's official website, or use their official app to verify. Third, mind your permissions. Really think twice before granting permissions to any app, especially accessibility services. If a simple game or flashlight app suddenly asks for extensive access to your device, that is a huge red flag. Question it and deny it if it seems unnecessary. And finally, under Rule 1, fortify your accounts. Use strong, unique passwords for every single online account and enable multi-factor authentication everywhere it's offered. Even though advanced Trojans can target it, it's still a crucial layer of defense. Okay, so Rule 1 is all about smart habits. What's rule number 2? Fortify your digital frontline. This is about using the technical defenses available to you. First, get reputable security software. Install and maintain mobile security software on your smartphone from a known brand. These tools are designed to detect and block known threats and can often adapt to new variants. Next, keep everything updated. Regularly update your phone's operating system and all your apps. These updates often contain critical security patches that fix newly discovered vulnerabilities. Don't leave the door open for attackers. Also look for advanced app security. Thankfully, leading financial institutions are starting to build AI-native mobile defense directly into their banking apps. These cutting-edge systems operate right on your device in real time, using machine learning to detect and stop threats like overlays before fraud can happen. When you're choosing your banking apps, look for ones that talk about this kind of embedded, on-device protection. That brings us to our final rule. Rule number 3, know your enemy's playbook. This is about staying informed and aware, because you can't defend against what you don't understand. First, understand that evolving threats are the norm. Cyber threats are constantly changing. Having this knowledge helps you question suspicious activity and spot the subtle signs of a potential attack. Second, be aware that tampering is a tactic. Legitimate apps can be modified with malicious code and re-released by criminals. Don't automatically trust an app just because its icon looks familiar, especially if you didn't get it directly from an official app store. And finally, know that persistence is key. Remember, even if you delete a suspicious app, parts of the malware might linger. If you suspect you've been infected, don't just assume deleting the app fixed it. Seeking expert help, running a deeper scan, or even a factory reset in extreme cases is vital for a thorough cleanup. These 3 rules, be vigilant, use tech defenses, and stay aware, aren't just technical steps. They're habits that empower you in this constantly shifting digital world. It's about being proactive, not just reactive. While we often think of cybersecurity as purely an individual thing, these threats really highlight a broader, collective challenge. What's fascinating here is how the human element remains both our strongest and our weakest link. Financial institutions are facing a constant barrage of these threats, so they're investing heavily in security. They are investing in AI-powered security to protect their infrastructure and, ultimately, your data. This also includes advanced authentication methods to ensure only you can access your accounts. And robust cloud security protects your data stored in the cloud. In a way, the vigilance that you and I exercise on our own phones actually contributes to the overall health of that entire ecosystem. It creates a ripple effect, strengthening everyone. Banks also recognize that cybersecurity training for their own employees is paramount, because social engineering and phishing attempts against staff remain huge risks. It just underscores that cybersecurity is only as strong as the people involved. By being informed ourselves, we're not just protecting our own bank accounts, we're actively making the entire digital community a harder target. It really is a shared responsibility. The studying has really shown that the digital world, heading into 2025, presents incredible cybersecurity challenges, but it also gives us incredible power, the power of knowledge and proactive measures. You, watching right now, are no longer just a passive user. You're an active, informed defender. You understand how AI empowers cybercriminals. You know how these banking Trojans silently infiltrate devices, and you know the clever tricks they use. This knowledge is your shield. You've learned that traditional defenses are struggling to keep up against these zero-hour threats. The fight requires a new, proactive mindset, moving from just reacting after something bad happens to actively preventing it. So what does this all mean for you right now? I want to leave you with a clear call to action, things you can do as soon as this is over. First, review your app permissions. Seriously, take 5 minutes today. Go through the apps on your phone. Look at the permissions they have. If any app has accessibility services enabled and it doesn't make sense for its function, reconsider it. Revoke that permission, or even uninstall the app if it seems suspicious. Second, make this your mantra. Verify, then click. Before clicking any link from an unsolicited message, pause. Go directly to the official website of your bank or utility provider. A little bit of healthy skepticism goes a very long way. And third, spread the word. Talk to your friends, your family, your colleagues. Share what you've learned today. Awareness is a collective superpower against these evolving threats, and you can be a catalyst for that. Remember, in this new era of AI-powered cyber threats, the most advanced defense isn't just about the technology we use. It's about a vigilant, informed, and proactive you, ready and equipped to protect your digital life. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep diving deep with us. That wraps up today's discussion. Thanks for watching and tuning in. If you're curious to dive deeper into this topic, make sure to visit our website. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.